Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we have big Yu-Gi-Oh! Reveals. We actually had all of the Maze of Memories early released, boxes sent out to a bunch of Yu-Gi tubers. They opened them up, so we kind of just got to see every single card in the set, including the new Gate Guardian cards and what they do, as well as a handful of reprints we were not too sure about just yet. So let's get into this. We're going to start with the Gate Guardian cards because I think that's the most hype thing here. Completely new cards. We didn't know what they did. There's 10 new cards there, by the way. And then afterwards, we'll go through and we'll look at the reprints as well, the full set list. All right, let's start off here. I've only read like one or two of these. This is Labyrinth Heavy Tank. This card used to be a fusion. Now it's a regular monster. This is a level 7 Dark Machine effect monster. 24/24 for the stats, pretty solid. You can normal summon this card without tributing. Okay. Cannot attack the turn it's normaled. During your main phase, you can place one of your Sangha of the Thunder, Kaze-Jin, or Suijin that is banished or in your hand or deck face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Then if you control a Labyrinth Wall card, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. That's pretty good because I'm pretty sure the new fusion monsters for the Gate Guardian stuff, like they essentially contact fuse from the field. So just placing them in the face-up spell and trap zone still allows them to be tributed for that. So that gets one of the two materials you would want for those. That's pretty solid. And then on top of that, the potential to non-target pop a card if you also have the Labyrinth Wall card set up. Pretty cool. Okay, not bad. That's a pretty respectable normal summon to start off. Next up here, we have Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth. Very cool. I love this guy. This is a level 5 Dark Zombie. 16/13, same stats as before. You can discard this card to add a Labyrinth Wall card from your deck to the hand. Okay, so finding more Labyrinth Wall cards for Heavy Tank to have that synergy, which is cool. At the start of the damage step, if your opponent's monster battles, while you control a Labyrinth Wall card, you can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy that opponent's monster. You can only use each effect once per turn. Not terrible. I mean, it's battle protection, but I think the fact that this works from grave and it's already just a Rhoda anyway, I think this is actually a decent card. Well, it's obviously going to come down to seeing how good the Labyrinth Wall card is, but if it's respectable, then I think this is actually a somewhat respectable card here. Very cool. All right, moving on. Let's get to the first of the boss monsters, the fusions. This is the big one. This is Gate Guardian combined. He's the level 12. He's a warrior. 37, 50, 34 classic stats. He does take all three. So he is going to be harder to make than the other three, but still solid. Especially, I mean, listen, Labyrinth Tank gets one of them by itself in rotation. So, cool. Must be special summoned from your extra by banishing the above cards from your hand, field, and or graveyard. Okay, so wait, that makes this card way better now because you can summon it. So you could summon the other ones by banishing them from field, but then but I guess you have to get them back in rotation. Okay, but this one is fielding hand or grave as well, not just field. So you don't even always have to get them out. You just have to have them somewhere. Okay. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card or cards you control, quick effect, you can negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card. That's poop. Poop. Targeting negation? Ass. We need, like, generic negation. You can only use this effect thrice per turn, sorry. So I guess technically you can use it 3 times per turn, but, like, if your opponent has non-targeting removal, this card is just sitting there doing nothing. If this face-up special summon card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one level 11 or lower Gate Guardian monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. I guess that's fine. I mean, that's a decent float, but like I have to say I'm overall underwhelmed because I think I read one of the other fusions and it was actually promising. So to see the big boy kind of be essentially just like, I don't want to say essentially a vanilla, but like a vanilla with like an okay protection effect and then a float, and that's it. A little bit underwhelming at the end of the day. All right, let's check out the smaller ones. Maybe these ones will just be more playable than him. This is Gate Guardian of Thunder and Wind. So they combined two of them at a time with the other fusion. So this is, I believe, Kaze-Jin and Sangha of the Thunder, which is cool. 25, 22 for the stats. Not terrible. Obviously, it requires Sangha and Kaze-Jin. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards you control. So this is the difference, right? The big guy can banish from hand or grave, but all the ones that require 2 just need to be from control, which is why the Labyrinth Tank up there is nice, because it just gets them on field. During your main phase, you can add one spell or trap from your deck to your hand that mentions Sangha, Kazejin, and Suijin. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so just searches. And if this face-up special summon card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one of your banished Sangha or Kazejin. So floats back into those guys. Not bad. So I'm seeing something very clear here out the gate. They do not revamp any of the classic guys, Sangha, Kazejin, or Suijin, and that seems to be the biggest bummer here, is that those cards you have to play them, and they're just bad cards for the most part. They're big level, they don't get themselves out, they are just bricks. But I don't know, we'll have to see what the search targets are here. I'm assuming they're okay, but we'll see. And then the float is fine. Moving on from there, we have Gate Guardian of Wind and Water. This is Kazejin and Suijin, and a level 9 Wind spellcaster, 2450, 2300. Must be special summoned by banishing the above cards you control. Once per chain, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or effect on the field, you can negate that effect. You can only use this effect twice per turn. Wow, a twice per turn spell and trap negate. That's actually pretty good. And then if this special summon card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one of your banished Kazejin or Suijin. Pretty nice, actually. This one's not bad. Double spell and trap negate is not terrible. It's once per chain, so cool. And the last of the fusions here is Gate Guardian of Water and Thunder. This is Suijin and Sangha of the Thunder, 2550, 2300. He's on level 9 Water Aqua. Must be special summoned from extra deck by banishing the above cards you control. Once per chain, quick effect. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Change its attack to 0 till the end of this turn. You can only use this effect twice per turn. I wish that was like negate it and make it 0. If it negated it and made it 0, this would be so much better, but it's just okay. If this face-up special summon card in its owner's control leaves the field, you can special summon back a Suijin or a Sangha. Yeah, this one's pretty bad as well, unfortunately. So to be honest, Wind and Water seems decent. We'll see what the spell and traps that Thunder and Wind can search, but this last guy, not the greatest. Not the greatest. All right, here we go. Labyrinth, Wall, Shadow. So this has Wall, Shadow, Labyrinth, Wall, and Wall, Shadow in the name. Cool, okay. Field spell. Monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned except monsters whose original level is 5 or higher. Okay. Once per turn during your main phase, you can place one of your Sangha, Kazejin, or Suijin that is banished or in hand or deck face up in a spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. That's another way to just get one out really easily. That's a +1. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can target one monster your opponent controls with 1600 attack, destroy it. Okay, I mean, I guess that pairs with your guy, Gate Guardian, Water, and Thunder pretty well. But the problem is it's the beginning of your opponent's battle phase, so your opponent can just choose not to go battle phase and not have to lose any monsters. But I guess at the same time, it is deterring your opponent, but it is just taking that area of the game out of their control, which could still come up. But okay, not bad. Yeah, so Labyrinth Tank gets you one face up, the field spell gets you one face up, and then you could just make from there straight up Wind and Water and have yourself a double spell and trap negate. Okay, not a bad card. From there, move to double attack, Wind and Thunder. If you control a Gate Guardian monster, target one card on the field. Destroy it. Okay, I like that this is just searchable off of the first, which one is this one? This one is Thunder and Wind. So this is just searchable off Thunder and Wind, and then it's just a Trident. And I like that it's any card too. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your grave to add one of your Sangha, Kazejin, or Suijin that is banished or in your deck to your hand. Wow. Okay, you can only use this effect once per turn. So the second effect's the only once per turn there. That's pretty crazy. You can use both in the same turn. So even going second, if you could just get a Gate Guardian out, pop a card, then also search another free card. That's pretty interesting. Now the problem here is that searching these guys doesn't seem to do a whole lot. I mean, I guess it starts recouping them in hand so that you could summon the big Gate Guardian at some point, but getting them to hand does not help you get to the other guys. Interesting. And the last spell we have here is Riryoku Guardian. It's a normal spell. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, target a monster you control with Gate Guardian in its original name. Have your opponent's life points, then that monster gains attack equal to your opponent's life points. wow, you could cut your opponent down to 4,000 and then have one of your Gate Guardian guys gain 4,000 and just kill him. You can also banish this card from grave to add a Sangha, Kazijin, or Suijin that is banished or in deck to your hand. Again, pretty good float there off of that. Yeah, not a bad card. I mean, I would guess this one is at most a one of, because if you can at least get it in grave, you just go ahead and get to search, replace it in hand, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. Interesting. And the last card we have here is Prey of the Jirai Gumo. Finally getting Jirai Gumo in there. This is a continuous trap. Special summon this card as a normal monster. It's an Earth Insect, level 5, 2100 attack, 100 defense, to your main monster zone in its same column. This card is also still a trap. Then you can destroy one monster your opponent controls in this card's column. Interesting. That's actually an interesting card. Like, generically. I mean, it does have to summon to its same column, so you can't just summon it wherever and then pop a monster, but you can still just, playing into a board, once you know your opponents are doing something, or you're playing against a link deck, just activate this over, like an EMZ, summon your guy to the other EMZ, so they have to go to the other one, in which case you can hit them with this. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one of your Sangha, Kazijin, or Suijin that is banished or in deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. Interesting card. This one seems to have a little bit more generic applicability, but still, obviously, questions. Interesting. I don't think they're amazing. I think there's some intrigue here. I mean, at least, like, the spells, like, replace themselves, right? So we've already seen in, like, Pirelli, they're playing, like, cards like, what is it? Is a volcanic, is it not Shell, right? Maybe it's Shell, where they pitch it and it just adds another copy of itself, so they can just keep pitching it. Pitch one of these spells, search a Sangha, search one of those guys, get enough of them engraved, you could make the big guy. I don't know. There's funny stuff here. I think it's more anime-based than anything. I don't think it's going to be too great competitively. If you feel differently, let me know. If you feel like there are any cards that already exist that I didn't mention that like kind of help bolster this strategy and actually make it work a little bit better than just what we're seeing here, let me know. But yeah, those are the new those. Moving on to the rest here, we have all of these imports here, right? Like the new Blackluster Soldier. Red Eye Soul is crazy. If Red Eyes actually get like good main deck monsters, Red Eye Soul could be insane down the line. Duel Academy is interesting. Element Hero, the Cyber Dragon Burst card. On your market said Duel. Time to Stand Up. This creepy little punk's a pretty good. What is that archetype called? Infernity card. Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. This might be the chase card of the set, to be honest. This card is a crazy generic Synchro 8. This card will definitely see play in the near future. Overlay Network, a pretty good Exceed extender. Number 39, Utopia Rising, nice card for them. Burying Utopia, Saga of the Dragon Emperor. I'm stuck on Gate Guardian stuff. The Performapal, Duelist Extraordinaire. This weird card, I'm not even going to read that. Battle Royale mode joining. Soul of the Supreme King, I'm looking for this one. Actually pretty excited, it's a rare, so it's going to be really easy to get and cheap. This card is slept on. This card will just beat people if they're not ready for it. The new Firewall, whatever. Angel Blue Tears, Forge a New Future, Labyrinth Wall, gotta get that reprint. Then we get to all these Sangha, Kazijin, Suijin, regular Gate Guardian, Super Ancient Deep Sea King's Coelacanth, that's a nice reprint. Blackwing Kalut, Elfin, and Zephyros, okay. Side Beast is a nice welcome reprint. Wind Up Kitten's a nice one as well. Nimble Angler, definitely. The Mech Knight's not as relevant. I'm not sure why these ended up in here, but they are. Photon Orbital's a nice one. Rika Petal, Mudon. Guardian Chimera is a really nice one. This is going to be one of the chase cards. Ancient Fairy Dragon is nice because it's going to have the new text on it. So I believe post this set, Ancient Fairy is officially legal to be played. I'm messing around with a couple of deck profiles for you guys that are going to utilize that. Barone. Oh, this is actually the chase card of the set, probably. This and Excel Stardust are probably the two chase cards. I'll say still a nice reprint. Teardrop is nice. Anybody who's messed around with the Rika deck, like random. This card's not even like the most, like, this may be like the 5th most important card in your extra deck, but it's like expensive as poop. Avermax, cool. Cost Down, Overload Fusion, Burial from a Different Dimension, Court of Justice. Spellbook of Fate's nice. This is a card that's always needed a reprint. Super Soldier Ritual, Chaos Form, Rika Glamour is nice as well. Never can have too many printings of Solemn Judgment, Royal Decree, Imperial Iron Wall. I need to get these actually. Treacherous Trap Hole, and Deep Dark Trap Hole. So I would say, you know, aside from the cards the big cards we already knew about from the imports and the reprints, nothing too crazy in here that, like, you know, is really, really nice aside from what we saw. I think at the end of the day, because I think the Gate Guardian stuff is more collector stuff, more casual stuff, not really competitively based, I think it's really going to hinder this set. I think it's not going to get opened that much now. And so, unfortunately, I'm worried the new Barone reprint's not going to bring it down as much as we want. And also stuff like Excel Stardust Synchro could creep up because it's, you know, the chase new card from a set that's not getting opened all that much. So we'll see. Hopefully it's manageable, but luckily you should only need one Excel and one Barone. But yeah, hopefully they're doable. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have today. A lot of really big stuff here. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you want to see more news updates from your boy down the line, subscribe for more. Should be doing a Trap Tricks, just kind of like discussion on them and where they land in the metagame, because I actually think they show a lot of promise. And yeah, we'll get to that later. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace.